That our final surface render or our final quality render has finished, we can select all three, holding Shift, open. Let's make this as big as practically possible, and we can compare the quality of each. So let's just quickly flick through. I moved out, unfortunately, that wasn't very good. But we can see that there's a slight difference maybe in the shadow. It looks like surface 2, test 2, which was the first, is the darkest shadow. This is considerably lighter, and then if we look between these two, there's not that much difference, but we see it's lighter again, but there's maybe a bit more variety in how the lighting is working, and the edges is maybe a bit more feathered. One of these things to understand in terms of shadows, the feathering that I'm talking about, I'll zoom right in to explain this. Again, the render quality is so low that it's not explaining it very well, but it's fine for now. So we'll see that we'll have the most pronounced line here because the distance from the edge of the wall is smaller, whereas the further away we get from the wall, the shadow casting, that should be more feathered, more blurred, it won't be as defined. So that's great, that's true, that's what we're after. And it's a little bit hard to see if there's variation in light happening on this wall or just variation in texture, but the other place that we should definitely notice variation in light is in the corner. The whole idea that it should be darkest where there is junctions, because that's the hardest place for light to bounce. So darkest in the corners, becoming lighter on the middle of the surface, and then of course direct light, shadowed. These are the areas that we're trying to understand how it represents and how the surface looks. Great. So that's been a good start. We're not going to do any additional rendering at the moment with these surface textures. In the next video, we'll have a look at how to create our own surface textures and test to make sure that they're also working the way we want our light and surfaces to work.